I'm Josh.
And I'm Peri.
We are farming here at Nada in South Australia. Our place is Border Park and it's certified organic sheep, cattle and cropping farm.
With the cereals that we grow, we predominantly do wheat, triticale, rye, oats, barley, and we also have pulses, peas, and we do medic. We also have a lovely stand of native grasses, so we welcome anything that grows. We also run sheep and cattle, so we have Poll Merino sheep, predominantly for wool, but also for meat, and Poll Hereford cattle. Our livestock is quite a small part of our income, but they are a very vital part of the way that we operate and farm.
We moved here in 2011 to South Australia and we worked for previous owners for 3 years. I guess the business of farming purely organic, it was okay, like it was certainly profitable, but I was very uncomfortable with the way that we tilled soil. When I first became, I guess, concerned about ecosystem health, I would have said that organics is not enough. So building healthy food really starts very deep in the ecosystem.
Yeah, because it all comes down to soils.
We don't have any surface water. Even in the big rain event, the water pretty much soaks in where it lands. So there are no creeks or rivers or natural bodies of water. So we're very vertical in terms of the water cycle, and yet it's so critical to us that we can conserve what little rainfall we get. So yeah, ground cover is very important, and using plants to capture the water and use it in the soil whenever we can is really, really important. When we had a couple of dry years and we really had to make the most of the water we had, and the normal way of farming we knew wasn't very good at conserving moisture, then we just had to go looking for ways. And I guess it was a real incentive to make the most of a small amount of moisture. The shallow tillage and the short fallow has kind of become our main way of farming now because it is more moisture efficient. It actually controls problem weeds better, but the main thing is that it conserves moisture. And at the same time it promotes the kind of biological activity and nutrient cycling that we're looking for.
Having water, having plant growth, that will then build the soil, and so we're actually trying to use what we have here without actually having to bring in as many inputs. So yes, there are still things that our soils are deficient in and need, and I guess we'll address those specifically, but really we're trying to grow bulk so that we can turn it in and improve our soils in that way. It's a longer term game. We realise we're not going to make a quick buck from this.
There's a bit of frustration that things aren't going to happen quickly. You know, in a way we want everything to happen now, but that would mean debt and high investment and high risk. So to accept that things are going to happen slowly, the positive of that is that we have a good excuse to enjoy life.
Oh, look at that.
To really enjoy this process, this time we have on the farm. Oh no, that's a beetle.
Yeah, I know. I was just looking at it. Yeah.
I haven't seen one before. It's a really good lifestyle. It's a good thing we can do as a family.
You get some of those.
Accepting that things won't happen quickly and then just enjoying the journey is the approach we're taking.
And I guess that we can also share what we're learning, the many mistakes that we've made, but also that we can share maybe just a little bit with someone else if it helps them to maybe consider their viewpoint or their circumstance in a slightly different way.
I guess something that I've learnt, which I really think is important to share, is about trying to see the big picture, you know, and not just focusing on wool or just on wheat, but that this is an ecosystem that we're part of and that we're managing, or at least influencing. These will be flowering soon. That's something that I guess took me by surprise when my focus was on crops and maybe a bit of livestock. And now my focus is on just a lot more, a much broader spectrum than it was when I started. There is more to life than farming. As much as we love it, there are higher priorities that we have and higher responsibilities that we have. One of them is family, another is soil health, and then there's community, and they're all connected, but they have to be, I guess, nurtured in a balance.